Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, know the voice of the guy. It's me, really rough, feeling rough, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Pretty good day here yet again on the show. A couple of things to recap past couple of days. Only had one play in the standalone game. Mercury Dream over 160.5 on the second leg of a back-to-back for Atlanta Dream. That gets over. And then we had the Sun team total over. Smart. See, that's where the mindset starts to change. When you debate two plays and you're deciding spread team total, spread doesn't cash, team total does. That's the one we go with. Very good hit there. Asia Wilson, second half, she was cooking in the first half. Second half, wasn't able to get going against the Indiana Fever. That doesn't get there. And then Natasha Howard for the social media play, over 11.5 points, was never in doubt. And as she goes on to a double-double, has a big game. And this is why you have to be in the Discord that I was telling you about, bettingpros.com/chat. I was in Discord earlier today and it was just on my soul. I was sitting there and I was like, oh, I really, really like Tina Charles today. I think Tina Charles is going to have a big day. I was in the chat. I said rebounds. Go check out the Betting Pros app. That's what I said. Go check out the Betting Pros app. And then if you went and checked the app, I was on Tina Charles over 6.5 rebounds at plus money. That cash. Tina Charles over 22.5 points and rebounds. That cashed. Had a sprinkle on Tina Charles 7-1 for a double-double. That cashed. So it was a really good day. It was. I'm not trying to jinx anything, but it was a good day. Things were going right. If only we had Asia that was able to cash with us, that would have been a good, really good end to the day. So now we have a Friday. I have a couple of plays that I want to give out. Before we get to that, though, got to remind you again about the Clyde Drexler signed jersey contest. We're giving it away at the end of the month. All you have to do is head over there, subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel, comment on any Fast Break Bets video. You'll have a chance to win that Clyde Drexler signed jersey, courtesy of our friends over there at pristineauction.com. All right. This is pretty much rinse and repeat, but same handicap. Let's go to the Minnesota Lynx going up against the Las Vegas Aces. Lynx are laying 10.5, 159. Ooh, whoa, that total is already climbing. Oh, 158.5 is the total now. Yeah, this is already climbing. So look, all right, there we go. Let's talk about the total then in this game. I like the over. I got 157.5 literally right before I came and sat down here for the stream, and now it's up to 158. You can't even get 157.5 anymore. So it's already climbing. There's a 159s out there already. So this is going up, and this is basically going back to the trend that we've been betting of teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. Have you bet them to the over? They have been really, really good to the over. You look at what's going on in the last two seasons, 25 and 13, 66% to the over for teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. Even here, I decided to kind of tone it down a little bit because I thought about it last game and I was like, man, 160.5 is a really low total for a team on the second leg of a back-to-back. Now it was at 157.5. So I was like, what is it? What happens when you have a team on the second level back-to-back the past two seasons, and that total is under 160, and books are saying we think this is going to be a lower scoring game? Well, the over-under 6-3 to that metric. 6-3 when the total is under 160 and a team is on the second leg of a back-to-back past two seasons. So again, a more positiveness of, even though the books typically see that, hey, this is supposed to be a lower scoring game. You got the Minnesota Lynx, one of the best defenses in the league, and the Aces, who are trying to find their footing and move along here. They're expecting to see not as many points, especially dominance on the Minnesota Lynx side of the ball. They have Minnesota as a 10-point favorite. But I also looking at this, and I'm looking at these numbers under 160, and the teams that are double digit favorites. You have a 16-point line between the Sky and the Dream. That went over, and that was a closer game than anticipated. Sun Mercury was a 14-point line. That was a closer game than anticipated, and that went over. You had Liberty Mystics last year. That was a 14.5-point line. That was a closer game. I remember that game, 93-88. That went over. So it just looks like on the second leg of a back-to-back, a lot of these teams are just keeping pace and keeping up and not letting this going out and being a big one-sided affair either way here. And I didn't really think that's of how that was going to play out for the Aces. Like, as much as I really want to fade the Aces in this spot, I don't think this is going to be one-sided. Actually, Minnesota is not doing well in the past 5 games guarding from the perimeter. They're allowing teams to shoot 38%. That is second to last in the W from 3. And I think that's exactly how the Las Vegas Aces can keep themselves in the game. Because if the Aces are hitting their threes, then that's just extra offense on their part. They can go out there and score without being able to hit their 3 ball when they can. But when they're hitting their threes, that's a whole lot of extra offense and changes up the dynamic of the game. And then it spaces out the floor and it opens up more stuff for A'ja Wilson and for Alyssa Smith down low. So that 3-point ball is really, really important to the Aces. And if that's on fire, then their offense looks completely different. So if the Minnesota Lynx aren't defending the 3 well right now, and then you have the Aces, who I don't think are defending well at all, period, and the Lynx are going to come in here ready to score, ready to play. This is Napheesa Collier versus A'ja Wilson. I think that the scoring is going to be in abundance in this matchup. So I think this is way too low. I got it at 157.5. I told you it's literally climbing as I'm recording right now. So it's probably at 158, 159. I still like it, through 160. 160 is the number that I had there for that 6-3 to the over number. Play it. I think it gets over. Like, I think we're going to see a lot of points here. So over 157.5, 158.5, wherever you get it at. I like the over in the Aces and the Lynx. All right. You want more picks and things other than basketball? Well, just go tune into the Daily Juice. And my co-host of the Betting Pros live stream, Matt Perrault, he does his show across all major sports every single day, 15 minutes or less. You can get it in the Daily Juice podcast. Check out the Daily Juice podcast over there at Betting Pros YouTube channel, wherever you get your podcasts. And don't take it from me as a coworker. Take it from me as a listener, because that's how I started. I started getting into Betting Pros by listening to Matt Perrault on the Daily Juice. So, hey, all right, let's see. Second play, we are still in the 7:30 slate. New York Liberty going up against the Phoenix Mercury. Mercury are catching 6. I'm going to a play prop in this one. And I'm going to just go ahead and back Jonquel Jones. And I like Jonquel Jones over 7.5 rebounds. Now, this is a line that got away from me before I was going to bet it, because it was at 6.5, about minus 115, and it instantly shot up already to 7.5 at plus money. I'm going to take it at 7.5 still here. Jonquel Jones has been very, very good rebounding the basketball, and you could see her impact was missed on Liberty when their already poor rebounding got substantially worse without Jonquel Jones in the lineup. You got her going up against AT here, where she's had some battles with AT and been able to be dominant on the boards. She had 7 or more rebounds in every single matchup against AT that she had last year when AT was on Connecticut Sun. And I think that you look at her last 10 games here, she's been over 7.5 rebounds in 7 of her last 10. You have 10, 7, 12, 10, 18, 11, 10, 4, 4, 9. Very, very good stuff here. The 4 game is coming in a game where she left early because of injury. So in the games that she's leaving early, those are the games that she's not cashing. But other than that, she's cashing this line. And so if she doesn't leave early, even if she's on a minutes restriction, I think that her rebounds can stack up where she can have 4 first quarter rebounds just like that and really, really alleviate some pressure on us here. I think it's going to be a battle between her and AT, and she's won that matchup more often than not, being very, very solid on the glass. And the Liberty really, really need her to be able to do that. They kind of set their team up and get more success, especially when she's crashing on the offensive glass as well. And I think that's the aspect of the game that we really don't talk about with Jonquel Jones is her offensive rebounding and being able to create more possessions for the Liberty. So, yeah, over 7.5 rebounds for Jonquel Jones as play number 2. And that's what I have for you here on a Friday of Fast Break Bets. Aces, Lynx, over 157. It's at 158.5 now. It's probably going to be at 159.5 by the time you listen to this, but I still like over. And then Jonquel Jones to go over 7.5 rebounds. That's it. And I'll have something else for you later. And make sure you check the BettingPros app, because if I fall in love with the play like Tina Charles that I did yesterday, then guess what? I'm just going to add it over there to the app and you can bet it like that. So with that, I'm at ___. Make sure you give me a follow on X at BettingPros on X and TikTok at BettingPros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/BettingPros, where you can, one more time, subscribe, comment, have a chance to win that Clyde Drexler signed jersey. And with that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.